No matter how much money you have, there's a sentiment and a feeling throughout the United States that things aren't okay. And I think that it really doesn't matter if you have money today, you're not going to want to spend money now in anticipation of not having money tomorrow.
What kind of things would you say you've cut down on?
Clothing, definitely.
We really are working collectively now towards, I think, a new, more frugal future.
Okay. We tend to overestimate, what we're going to do. We're always a little more optimistic about what we can do than what we actually end up doing.
So I think it's kind of a good thing for consumers to know what they're up against emotionally when they go in there and they get ready to plunk down bucks for sale items.
I think consumers should know that come August, retailers have cut way, way back on ordering. So those big, big discounts aren't going to be available after August. So for the back to school season, there's going to be a lot less merchandise and sales won't be there.
How do you get the best deals?
Okay, so I think the thing to do is to strategize. If you're going to go to Black Friday sales, you really have to be prepared. This is not the day to browse. This is the day to buy. So you got to work out what you want, where it's going to be on sale, work out a plan, make a list. I'm big on lists because then people are more resistant.
But you're from the Midwest. You people are big on
exactly. Well, it helps to resist those impulse purchases if you have your list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know who you're buying for, and then work out your strategy. Go early. If you're not going to go early, don't bother going, because it's not going to really last. But online too, I think the thing to do also is to also prepare online, to sign up with your favorite retailers to get email updates so that you can, again, strategize and get the most out of your money.
Okay, now let's talk about the strategy. If you have the guts, should you wait? Are prices going to get better?
If you want clothing or accessories tomorrow through Thanksgiving, Black Friday, go. If you want electronics, start on Black Friday. If you want toys, wait.
Oh, okay, very good. Kit Yarrow, professor at Golden Gate University. Thank you very much. Great job. And we'll be right back.
Retailers have to be incredibly sharp in meeting consumer needs. It's intensely competitive because there's a smaller amount of discretionary dollars out there. Only the best are going to survive. Okay. The ones that ended up leaving tended to be the ones that didn't have like a very differentiated place in the minds of consumers to stand for something really sharply. We have 1/4 the demand for retail space that we did last year at this time.
Consumer expert Kit Yarrow says the problem now evident at malls is simply an extension of the mortgage crisis.
Every single piece is related, and it becomes like a stack of dominoes. Generally, retailers rely on gift cards to pull people into stores after the holidays. So the day after Christmas, which is actually one of the biggest shopping days of the year, is fueled by gift cards, returns, and teenagers spending their cash. None of those things have really, people haven't bought a lot to return in the first place. Gift cards were way down, and teenagers didn't get as much money. So we'll see, but it's not really looking good for today. It's not looking like a good year for retailers all the way around. Well, back in the day, when it was a gift certificate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, woo, we're dating ourselves.
Exactly. Right. 5 years ago, it was kind of a cheesy gift, but it's really acceptable now, and people want them. It's the #1 most wanted gift, and I think what people feel like they're getting when they get a gift card is the gift of shopping. They now have permission to shop, and people love to shop, so it actually is a gift. It's not just a card, and it's not just a dollar amount, but it actually is permission to go shopping, and people love that. And gift cards are beautiful today. I mean, they're just more attractive, personalized.
And you can get boxes that come in, or little tiny purses we just got for my nieces that you put the cards in.
Exactly.
So what you're really giving them is time away from their work as well as the money to buy the stuff? I mean, away from work, family obligations?
I think it's kind of like emotional permission to buy. Also, I think the other thing is that because 62% of women want gift cards and only 45% of men, one has to wonder whether or not it says something a little bit about the capability of the gift giver. If you touch my draft.
So my wife doesn't trust me to get what she wants.
Does she want a gift card? That'll be your answer.
I'm not answering that. Do you want a gift card?
No, my husband's actually pretty good.
Is he pretty good?
He's pretty good, but he does like guidance, so which is the same as a gift card in a way.
We asked consumer psychologist Kit Yarrow why men wait so long.
That's such a good question. Men in general don't like to shop as much as women do. It's not just a stereotype, it's actually proven. Research proves it, guys will say it, girls will say it.
It's not our favorite activity.
schedule a weekly time to talk about like where we are with money so that everybody kind of knows what to expect.
Oh boy, that's brutal.
It's only 10 minutes. That's all you have to do.
But I mean, like once a week, it's like, oh, by the way, we still don't have money to pay the credit cards? It's like, what kind of...
That way, you know what happens though, believe it or not, is when people know they're going to have 10 minutes on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock or something, then they let go of the rest of the week. It's
Do
like,
they
good.
really?
Yeah. I'm going to
Okay, now we don't have to do this on the week that I go gambling with my buddies. How to do this on poker night? Okay.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So pick a nice neutral night.
Okay, and then number 5.
Well, I haven't quite finished because there's more scheduling you have to do. You have to schedule romance too. So again, it's that gap, you know, and the potential of, you know, it's really important, I think, to make a point of scheduling a date night or sex or what, you know, whatever you want to have romantically in your life. But that way then people kind of know that they can expect it, and I think that's really important. What it means is that we're not thinking crisply, creatively, and confidently. We're falling back on what everybody else is doing because we're afraid. I think we're absolutely looking for heroes right now. We want to have people that we can believe in and a sense of hope for the future.
Kit Yarrow, Golden Gate University's Dean of Psychology and Business Professor, says in these tough times, folks are looking for people to inspire them, to expand their sense of what is possible.
Our trust really has been shaken. You know, the sense of nobody was able to predict what happened to the economy, and it really left so many of us vulnerable. And we want to feel like we're safe. It does, I think, make it harder for us to feel like we're in good hands. They're fatigued from all of the news. They're not willing to be optimistic again right now because the last time they were disappointed. When you describe an individual's personal situation, I think people empathize with that, and it makes them feel really afraid for their security as well. It really is a disaster for young people in particular because they're not great savers by nature. Anxiety kills the sex drive. It does. And so, you know, there's another room for misunderstanding. It's a good idea, I think, for people to build all that in.
Right.
Yeah.
Kit Yarrow, thanks so much. And you can find more tips from Kit at the GMA website at abcnews.com.
You just can't get a hotter button issue than moms and their kids.
Kit Yarrow is a nationally renowned consumer psychologist and professor at Golden Gate University.
It's bad for the toy industry, and shoppers are definitely going to be looking carefully at where the products they're interested in are manufactured.
And that's exactly what we learned today here in Oakland's Grand Lake District.
30–40% of consumers already have started, and those that haven't actually started purchasing are thinking about what they want to buy now.
Regardless of this year's problems, Mattel has a generations-old history that will serve it well in the long run.
You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
The very deepest understanding that consumers have of that company are extremely positive. I think over time they'll recover. Frankly, I don't think in time for the holidays. Consumers tend to respond in a level of confidence around the things that they experience every day.
We're in a real transportation shift in the U.S. that the way that we conceptualize getting around is going to change forever now.
It becomes sort of like this test or measure of how safe they are, how confident they can be in the future. I see this as a permanent change. I think it's a shift in our culture and a shift away from doing things the gas-guzzling way. I actually think this will be a permanent shift in the way that Americans spend money, and that's because I think that we are seeing the pendulum move back from a period of gluttony into a period of more considered consumption. Fear is the great impediment when it comes to making large purchases, and if they can remove some of the fear, create a greater sense of security around buying, I think there's a better chance that people will jump into the market. In retailing, 75 is the new 50. In other words, consumers expect to get 75% off now. 50% off just isn't good enough anymore. Consumers are going to pay for something because they feel a connection and an obligation. I think there's kind of a built-in need for people to feel like there's fairness in the world. Because our expectation is that gas prices are going to continue to go high, we're never really shocked or surprised. And it's that shock and surprise, I think, that motivates consumers to change.